live, and welcome everybody to episode 33 of Collecting Stories with Uncle Tarek and Nephew Zaid.
Uncle Tarek. You actually never call me Uncle Tarek. Usually, everybody just calls me Tarek.
I just call you Tarek. Would you like?
Weird, yeah.
Do you want the uncle?
No.
Okay.
No. Actually, I do not.
He's not. That's not the formal way. We're not.
And I've never called you Nephew Zaid. I don't believe.
I don't know. That would be even more strange, I think, if you said Nephew Zaid.
Did you ever notice that you don't, but you'll like say, Grandpa Bob or something like that, Grandpa Al, but nobody ever says like daughter Gina
or grandson Thomas or something, That is interesting. I wonder why that is.
Because it sounds dumb.
You're right.
I don't know.
I like it. I think that's the reason. Well, Uncle Tarek,
No, you guys stop.
Sorry.
Stop.
I'll stop that. This week. Well, first let's just say what we're gonna end up doing today is we're gonna actually announce a pretty cool thing that is in the works.
Groundbreaking announcement, or am
I think it's pretty groundbreaking.
Yes.
I mean, we couldn't wait. We couldn't wait to say it. Do you want to talk more about that?
I just want to take credit for the name of the podcast.
Yes. So we are going to come out with a new podcast dedicated to disc golf cards called
Boom.
Circle One.
The Circle One. The Circle One podcast.
Mic drop.
Should we explain to people what Circle One is? Or will anybody who cares?
I was holding for applause.
Okay.
Yeah, I suppose we should explain what Circle One is. I think is it 30 or is it 33 feet from the pin? So that's how they designate like what putts are in Circle One or out of Circle One for disc golf. And if you're in
there's a Circle One, there's a Circle Two, and obviously that's where they start saying you're up and down, right?
Yep. Exactly. So if you're inside of Circle One, you actually cannot step putt or jump putt. You have to be behind your lie and maintain balance the entire time. Is that why you chose Circle One? Is because we'll be behind our lie and maintain balance for the entirety of the podcast?
I like the reference. No, it was just because it sounded better than two. Two might have been like you're in second, or somehow you could only make it to Circle Two from from the fairway or from wherever you're at. Whereas if you're in Circle One, it just sounds like you're there already.
Yep, you're on top. So the podcast would probably we're in the works of thinking about like what we want out of the podcast, and we're thinking it's going to be very much more structured and much more polished, let's say.
We have a plan for each episode. It's going to be only once a month. There's going to be a plan to it. We're going to ourselves, what kind of got us into it, right, was that we've been doing a lot of research into the history of disc golf cards, which doesn't go back very far, but also the history of disc golf, which goes back much further than the cards, right? And DGPT and our interest in that, and kind of sharing what we're learning through a podcast as we're learning it. And so we're going to, it's going to be, I guess, part history, part talk about cards, part talk about what we're interested in and why we're interested in it from a card standpoint. We may talk a little bit about what we think about values and stuff like that, although that gets dangerous because we don't want to make, recommendations and stuff like that. But certainly what we're interested in, and we see, I think both you and I see kind of a bit of growth in the disc golf. We know disc golf is becoming more popular, but I think that will eventually lead to people become, because it's easy to like these guys when you're rooting for somebody. It's easy to want to collect them.
Right.
I mean, for me at least.
No, exactly. And like with the growth of the sport, like the card economy or the card community, I should say, has been growing exponentially. I should add, especially with.
And it's relatively easy to collect because, well, one, prices are still reasonable. But even if prices were becoming less reasonable, there's only one brand right now out there to collect, and there's been, in the past there isn't that much out there. So deciding what to collect, it's not like baseball where you have to decide between 15 different brands of Topps baseball releases,
That's
right?
That's one of the reasons I like it so much. I don't know if I should save this for the other podcast, but maybe I'll talk a little bit more about that this episode.
With your 80s, with your
my
70s and
junk
80s
wax,
collecting, yeah.
70s, 80s collecting that I've been kind of looking into and kind of been very interested in. But that's for later. But we announced it. It's going to happen, so...
After the National is going to be our first episode.
Yep, after the National. The National's... It's too big to comprehend.
So we're thinking early August, we're going to put together the first episode, which will be, I think, kind of an overview of things, overview of the disc golf card hobby,
Yeah.
and where it is now, which is, I would say it's still in its very nascent phase,
Right.
very nascent.
Right.
Although in just a couple of years, we both know because we've been watching and collecting, it's grown quite a bit from what it was 2 years ago till now.
Yes. And speaking of disc golf cards, I'm going to share my pickups.
Yeah.
So I actually did a trade on the Discord this week. So he was collecting Valerie Mondahano cards. Mm-hmm. And I'm not really familiar with her, but I did end up pulling an out of 10 and an out of 25 Valerie. And those are the die cut Elite Series
Major.
And the Major. Yes. So he actually went on the Discord saying, hey, I'm in search of these cards. Is there anybody willing to trade or sell them? And, I'm not attached to these cards, and he would probably appreciate them more. So I contacted him, hey, do you still need these cards? And he said, yep. And I think he wanted to trade more than just straight up buy them, which I totally respect, and that's more fun anyway. So he was kind of valuing the cards around, what he said, $20 for both of them. I was thinking $40 for both of them, just because it's an out of 10 and an out of 25 of a player that maybe isn't like the most popular. So we kind of met in the middle for $30 value. And I just told him a couple of players that I really like. I like Nate Sexton and Anakin Steen and Ricky Wysocki. So he actually sent me pictures of cards of them. There was an autograph of Ricky Wysocki, which was obviously worth more than $30. But what I ended up picking up were these 2025 titanium Brixton pop cards.
Those are cool, man.
This one is of Nate Sexton, and this one is of Anakin Steen.
Those are awesome.
These are pretty cool.
So that was part of the titanium. If you could get those out of titanium packs this year,
I guess so. And they're out of 20, and I know they made an out.
Those are really cool.
They made an out of 5 version as well. That Luke Humphreys, who is a disc golf player, he's searching for the complete set of out of 5.
What's the number of cards in that pop culture set?
I'm not sure. This one goes up to 39. Nate Sexton is
wow.
number 39. So
that's a tough set to collect. 39, and they're limited out of 20.
These ones
or did they?
20. Yeah.
They probably didn't make base. I don't think they would have made base in titanium. So that's probably That's probably the quote unquote base.
Yeah, that would be a really hard set to procure, but I'm happy with just having the players that I
Those are
appreciate.
very cool.
You know,
I didn't
And-
even know about that.
so he was valued. I think the Anakin Steen $15, and then like Nate Sexton $10. And I was like, okay, that's very fair. And then I asked if he had any DGPT 2025 cards to help me complete my insert sets. And he said he did, and he actually threw those in as well. So I had like 4 more cards to complete that set. I think what I have left is, I actually have it written down. I have 13 more cards, including the Hero Series needed. So yeah, that was a pretty cool trade. I just sent it.
Good for you.
Click and ship, which I was a little upset that USPS raised their prices, but what can you do about that? I also went to a card shop in Colorado Springs when I was visiting my little brother Ethan, and it was actually a really cool card shop. I think it was called like the Shop at Colorado Springs or something, but you know, it was like old timey shop, SHOPPE.
Okay.
I don't really know why that is, but what I picked,
Like Old English.
yeah, I don't. They weren't Old English themed. I don't know why they were the shoppy. I picked up quickly this Jackson Dart rookie card, Purple Shock.
I have that card. I picked that up at a card show for grading.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How much did you pick it up for? Do you remember?
What price do you have? I think
Mine
it was around the same,
was
like
10,
18 bucks
12.
or something.
Mine was 12
maybe
bucks.
more.
Mine is really off centered though. I picked this up for my friend Spencer, the T.Y. Hilton 2012 out of 299 Topps Chrome. He's a
Ty, he
he's
was
a big,
awesome, man.
big Colts fan.
Loved him in fantasy football.
Picked up this Victor Wembanyama. What is it? Purple refractor optic. My house.
What year is that?
This is 2025. So
Okay.
second year. I got this.
Third, right? His rookie was 2023, I believe.
Okay.
Wasn't it?
Oh,
Wasn't it? Maybe.
I thought it was 2024 maybe. But okay. John Stockton out of 50.
Check on this now. I didn't know you would know John Stockton. I was actually surprised.
I know John Stockton. I actually I mean, he's
No,
a
I was
he's a
pleased,
90s
but I was also surprised.
He's a 90s player, late 80s, 90s. And I mean, if you're watching Michael's Jordan highlights, you're watching John Stockton highlights as well, you know. So that's how I know John Stockton. But it's not a
did
true
play in the
gold.
finals.
It's a I think I'm not sure what kind of gold this is.
Oh, like a wave? Yeah, that's
Kind
still
of
a
like
cool
a
card.
wave. It's a cool card. I got
It was 2023, by the way. Wemby's rookie.
Okay, so third year card. Dang, time is going by. Got this Nick Kurtz rookie heritage card.
Big
love,
Amish.
I love heritage. First of all,
That
the
is
card-
so I saw that card in the picture you sent me. That card is really, I don't know how everything else looks, but the centering on that's really nice.
centering
looks
is
great.
beautiful. It's just a beautiful card. There is a couple of white spots on the edge down here on the back. I'll probably still take the risk and grade it.
We'll talk about that a little bit when I talk through my stuff, but yeah, unfortunately, that's seems to be becoming a problem.
And then the last card I got for myself is the out of 25 Mo Salah.
Mo Salah.
This is
Love it.
Champions League 2025.
Liverpool kit.
Yep.
Did you hear my
Mo Salah
football talk there? The kit in his Liverpool kit.
kit. The
Yeah, that's a cool
uniform.
card.
Yeah, and I got those cards for about $100. Plus
So they were
tax.
willing to work with you there?
Yeah, it came out to be like 115. I said, "Hey, can I get it for 100?" And they said no problem. But then with tax, it became like 113 or something. I don't 108 or something.
That's fine. If you get your tax money back, I usually consider that a relative win.
They
at a card
actually,
store.
I was texting you while I was there because they had 2026 Goodwood Champions hobby boxes there for $250. So those are selling for $350 to $400 on eBay right now because people are trying to find those Michael Jordan autographs on there. But you know
It's
what?
unfortunate.
I'm not trying to do that. So I decided to wait until all the breakers are done. Like you were saying, they're just breakers trying to find the autographs. And
Well, it's breakers who are buying it up, right? And then they're going to sell because nobody's going to, I don't think anybody's going to pay that for Goodwin Champions.
yeah, no,
Like an individual person who wants to collect it like you is going to pay that kind of money. So it has to be, it's got to be breakers.
it has to be. Yeah. Because he signed those 86
He
Fleer
signed
packs.
the 86 Fleer, 86 Fleer packs. I thought it was 23 of them. Don't quote me on that, but I thought it had something to do with that because
With his
of
number.
him being number 23. Yeah.
Yeah. So that
So
was
people
that.
are willing to pay a fortune going after a lottery.
Yeah, 250 for Goodwin Champions is quite a bit. So
350, right? Not
350 on
250,
eBay, but I
350.
could have gotten them for 250.
Yeah. Even 250 is a lot.
I asked if I could get them for 200, and they said no. And if they said yes, I might have bought it. And then this 2023 Eagle McMahon
That's awesome.
Hero Series. So this came with
That
the
is
2025
freaking sweet.
2025 Eagle McMahon I got off an auction.
You got that at that card store?
No, an auction on
Oh,
eBay.
okay.
So these two for about, I think my max bid was $55, and the other guy below me only went to 52. So I was really glad I didn't go lower than that. But yeah, both those cards for $55. I'm happy with that. So yeah, there was actually quite a bit of pickups since last time. I didn't really realize that.
Good work, and we'll talk more about. I really like those pop culture cards. I hadn't seen those before, but we'll talk more about disc golf on our upcoming podcast debuting in August, the Circle One podcast.
TM.
Well done.
How about you, Tarek?
Good call. I have been making a lot of pickups since my collection was decimated. Actually, I hadn't bought anything since we were at the card show, so then I just decided to go all out. Yeah, I've been changing. So I'm still buying cards for my collection, but I also really enjoyed going to the card show, so I want to buy and sell some more. So I'm doing some stuff there too as well. So I'll share both of those things, but I'll start out with the personal collection items. So if I were to pick one wrestler now, that somebody who wasn't interested in wrestling, and I hate to give recommendations, so I'm not, but I'm saying that I believe that this person is going to be one of the next big wrestlers to go over, or she will go over at some point. And I've known this for a few years. Her rookie card was in 2025. My goal is to buy six really good cards of her. And with this card that I'm going to show you, the number will be up to 3. I bought her out of 5 Cactus Jack WrestleMania exclusive, which was not the Cactus Jack boxes you can buy online now for relatively cheap, but the boxes that were sold to people at WrestleMania 41 directly. So they're a lot more limited. So I got her out of 5 of that is one of the cards I have. I have her out of 10 2025 Finest, which is also a rookie card. I didn't have an auto yet, so I made the third card an auto. And it's not a rookie, but I don't really care. It's a Cosmic. The first year of Cosmic was this year, 2026. It's her Cosmic Solar Flare signatures out of 10.
Zarya.
She's Australian. She was kind of promoted by Rhea Ripley, is what I heard. Rhea Ripley was one of who's also, I mean, she's a huge name, and
Look
she's
at
also
that
Australian.
signature. I love that. That is a good signature.
Yeah, but she's a great wrestler. She's in NXT right now. She hasn't made the main roster yet,
Okay.
but this is someone that, yeah, I mean, I think is going to be big. I think she's going to go over at some point.
So when you say promoted by, like, if
I didn't mean promoted in the sense of a promotion. I meant like she had some backing from Rhea Ripley, who
sure.
is, from her home country.
Gotcha.
And so she was well known. She was kind of well known in the independent scene before she came into WWE. So
So you recommend,
just
if you would recommend one wrestler to somebody that wasn't into wrestling, you would pick Zarya.
but wanted value,
I guess, okay.
like who
Is
wanted
that
to
what
buy
you're-
for value. If I said I won't make recommendations, but if somebody did want to, my opinion is complete speculation. But if you wanted to invest in somebody for potential value in the future who hasn't already gone over and their card prices have gone up, like Stephanie Vaquer was that a few years ago. I was buying her. Obafemi was like that a few years ago. I was buying him. I watch a lot of wrestling, unfortunately. So I think Zarya is somebody right now who people, because what happens is when these wrestlers go over and their card prices start to go up, everybody jumps on them, not just the wrestling fans. The flippers jump up on them and everybody else. I think Zarya is going to be one of those. Right now, her prices are extremely cheap, and I think she will eventually not be as cheap. That's all I'll say.
Good to know.
But my goal is, I like her as a wrestler. My goal is to pick up like 6 of her best cards, and that's it. So I'm not just buying a bunch of her and stuff like that. I'm only buying the cards that I want to keep for my personal collection. Actually, I only would want 4 for my personal collection, so I'm buying about 2 that I would want to turn around and do something with.
2025 is her rookie card.
Her rookie card, yeah.
Okay. And then NXT comes out with a set as well, right? Or
no, not with Topps. No, NXT. They have them.
They have the logo on.
You can't see it on this card, but they have whether they're part of Raw, SmackDown, or NXT on the back of the card. Okay. So they're all part of the wrestling set. I picked this up. I'd been wanting one of these for a while. We talked about it since you introduced me to the set. I picked up the Michael Jordan Fly High Red.
He has it in hand.
I bid on this one in auction. I don't think, if I were to grade this, I don't know, it's tough to say the way they're grading now. I think maybe a 9, but probably an 8.
Really?
Yeah, just because of those back corners we talked about where it's dark. I don't know, but it was the best one I saw out there, and I could bid on it and get it at a price that was less than all the buy it nows. So, and the buy it nows, if the buy it nows were if I wouldn't have seen the same problems, albeit on different corners in the buy it nows, I would have paid more than what I paid for this. But it was the same thing with all of them. So I was like, I'm going to get this one because I don't know what's going to happen to it. There's 1,996 copies. I don't know what's going to happen to it price-wise. That's a lot of copies, but I was just like, it could go one way or the other, and I really want one.
Does it look as good in person?
I'm just going to grab it right now. Yeah, it's a great card.
Yeah.
It's a really cool card.
I think those red ones look
They're all cool. The purple is cool, too. The purple Cosmos is cool.
Yeah. But it is cool to have a numbered card as well. So
it is cool. Yeah, they're just, I mean, you felt these things. They're like paper thin.
Yep.
They're just, condition-wise, they're real tough. So I got that. And then this was just an indulgence pickup for my personal collection because I've been buying these. The Combat Anthology Hitman Thomas Hearns. Kaboom. Popped up on my search results. It was super cheap, in my opinion. and I just decided to grab it. I mean, this guy, I was so this guy used to fight. You know, when we had cable TV, the pay-per-views, so like in the mid '80s. That's how I remember him. I mean, he fought guys like Sugar Ray, Roberto Duran. God, who's the other guy? I gotta look it
Dang,
up.
and now he has a Kaboom card?
I know the name. Marvin Hagler. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. But this guy his career was 61 wins, 5 losses. I mean, he is still alive. So I just thought that it was a cool Kaboom
That's
boxing
awesome.
card. I thought that was cool. So I picked those up. Those were for my personal collection.
How many Kabooms are in that set? Do you remember?
I don't know, but I'm getting close, aren't I? I'm probably about halfway there. The problem is the Hulk Hogan, the Ric Flair,
Yeah, those are.
and the Mike Tyson are ridiculous.
Yeah,
in
those are
terms of
probably in
price.
your unopened boxes, though. So.
I'm not going to make that gamble.
Oh, okay.
Not a chance. Not a chance. So then I picked up some stuff that I want to hold on to and then potentially bring. So, I mean, if we're going to go to card shows, right, we've got to be constantly having inventory, right? So I wanted to kind of rebuild back some inventory. So I started picking, I mean, it has to be stuff that I like owning, first of all, okay? If I'm going to pay money for it, my philosophy is, and it always has been, even when I was, Nana and I were going antique shopping and stuff and buying, I was collecting toys and selling them. And it's for fun, right? But if I buy something, I have to want to own it, right? So I'll only buy stuff that I really want to own in the long run. I won't buy it just for for the idea of taking it and adding it to inventory and selling it. It has to be something, if I get stuck with it, I'm happy about it. So I picked up a bunch of stuff. Can I share my screen?
Sure.
And I'll kind of show you my thought process. By the way, I've also been on Fanatics Collect more lately.
Ah,
I just
yeah.
want to make sure I show the right screen here. Oh no, how do I show the right screen? Oh, here it is. I'm going to bid on that in a second. So, let me show you what I bought. Can they see the card if I show it too, or
If
do
you
they only
click on
see
the
the screen?
image, I can only see the. Well, I guess they can see you in the.
How about I'll do this and then show the screen. I picked
Sure.
this up. So there was an Appleton card show. I'll show you the 2 cards I picked up there. I got this 1998 Top Stadium Club Triumvirate die cut Luminous of Shaq. Now this is a PSA 9, but I looked at the card. I mean,
It's perfect.
it looks really good. Like, it looks really good. And it's like see-through. I don't know if you can see this, but you can see the hand. So it's got like
Oh, yeah.
like slits in there. That's why I think they call it luminous. It's so cool looking. It's almost like I can't tell if it's an acetate or not. It might be. And if it is, it's in a really nice shape. But the colors are beautiful on it. So this thing has a gem rate of 27%.
Okay.
Now, my thought process here is that, so I bought a PSA 9 because I don't think that anymore. I think there's like 0 chance if you send one of these in now, you're going to get a PSA 10 from PSA.
Really?
I don't care how good the card looks. I think these older cards are getting, they're so old now that none of them are, you remember when you sent your dad's cards in.
That's true.
I think it's to a point now where they look at these things so carefully now that it's really hard. Because I've sent in some older cards too, right? I told you about the ones I was trying to get a 10 on.
Yeah.
So I think 9 is becoming, I think this is almost like, unless you're, willing to spend a fortune on the card to get one of the few 10s out there, I think just getting 9s of these is the way to go.
Are
And
you
getting good 9s.
Are you thinking that it's kind of shifting to like maybe a Beckett 9.5 or like a Beckett 9, like
Kind of, yeah.
in that, because people would think of a Beckett 9.5 as pristine, and then like a 10 would just be insanely nice.
Well, I would look at the card, right? Because it might also be that PSA graded easier at the time. So that's why I got a 9, because Beckett's grading's become harder. So I would definitely look at the card. But like I was looking, so I'm looking at it before I buy it. But I mean, this one I thought
I mean,
I
look at
could
all
send in now.
the
And
corners are on there.
I feel like if this was a modern card, like an ultra modern card, like 2025 or something, and I sent it in, they would actually give it a 10. But you know how hard they are, tough they are with die cuts.
Yep.
You sent in that Randy Moss Gallery of Heroes.
Well, that was to Beckett. Yeah.
It got, they grade those pretty tough now because they got to look at every corner. And unfortunately, this thing has about it's got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 corners.
And
so
counting the slits too. I mean, something
maybe
might be stuck in there.
I don't know what they're doing with the slits, but
so you got that at the Appleton show.
I got that one.
I'm always impressed about
great price.
how you're finding these cards. I'm always impressed.
I'm more so I'm shooting for if these are things I want. If I want to be able to have an inventory for a card show, I'm looking at kind of the greats.
Yep.
I'm doing a little bit of speculation because I am buying Cooper Flag, and I'm also going to start buying. But Wembanyama has not gone down yet, so I was hoping he would, but apparently he has not. So then I got this one. This one's really. I'll show the chart on this one. I'll show the card first. And I'd been looking for this card, but I didn't realize he had a red, white, and blue. This is an Otani 2019, so it's a second-year Diamond Kings red, white, and blue, and it's numbered out of 150.
Oh.
And it's a PSA 9, but let me show you the chart on this thing. So the PSA pop 0% gem rate. There's only been 12 graded, and 10 of them are 9s, 2 of them are 8s.
Wow.
There's only 150 of them. It's limited.
Right.
So I was like, I'm not going to see this card again. You can't find it on eBay. I looked on eBay to see if I could, if it was potentially something I could get cheaper. It's not on there. It's not on their raw. It's not on their graded.
Where are they?
Well, one was in Appleton.
Are they are they in boxes?
People's Collections boxes.
Probably People's Collections too,
packs. Still in packs.
So why is it 150th anniversary? What is that? What is that for? Baseball in general, or what?
Maybe.
Okay.
That's got to be what it is. That's the only thing I mean, either Panini's or baseball. Baseball would make sense, right? That put it around the late 1800s, which sounds right.
Yeah, that sounds right. That's a really cool card. That's a really cool.
And numbered out of 150.
134 out of 150. Wow.
So I think the only actually the corners are great on this. I think the problem was the top to bottom centering, unfortunately. But otherwise, a great card.
You got
so
it for
I grabbed
a good,
that one.
good
so
price?
That's like, yeah, I thought it was a fair price.
Okay. Good.
I mean, again, I have to. I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty good at figuring out what's going to happen to the price later. So. I feel like something like that where there's just, you're not going to see it go on the market a lot. It's like, okay, well, I found it. What's, if I put it out there on auction right now, what's the next price going to be?
Take advantage of it.
I went to another card show. I picked up, so this is my kind of Jordan run here, because remember the Jordan Electrified that I was into for...
Sure.
And I sold the PSA 8 at the card show, and I bought a bunch raw for like $15 that I sold super cheap And I mean, they were good. I didn't grade them because I was trying to get tens out of those, and I thought those wouldn't get tens. So now those are going for a fortune. Raw, they're going for like anywhere from 100 to 200.
Raw?
But I liked, yeah, but I liked the card. So I found some other Jordans that I kind of like, and I was
Mm.
looking for those specifically. I really liked the 1995 metal, which was the first year of clear metal. It was the inaugural year. And I found this Jordan at a card show. It's a PSA 9 nuts and
Ooh,
bolts insert. I don't know if you can
yes.
see it, but it says nuts and bolts down there. And it's got a gem rate. Let's go ahead and bring this up and show the screen here quick. So it's got a gem rate of under 20%.
Yeah.
And I guarantee, and that's from before, right? I guarantee. So I looked at this one. This one looks pretty good. I would think if you really wanted to find a problem with it, you probably could. I can't see the surface too well, but the corners and the centering look good. So, but my guess is with this big of a difference between a 9 and 10, if PSA is going to have to, they're going to start leaning this way and more likely this way.
Yeah. It's going to be more
As
so
the,
an 8 or
as
8.
as the disparity between the 9, what you end up seeing, I'm noticing is that this disparity as time goes on, you start seeing less. First of all, you start seeing almost no tens, and so that price goes way up. You start seeing fewer nines and more eights, and so the 9 ends up going up. So it ends up becoming harder to get the grade. I still think you got to look at the card to make sure that you believe it's a 9. If you don't believe it's a 9, I wouldn't buy it. So I try to look at it, and I feel like I'm getting good enough now that I can kind of tell. So I thought this one, I try to say, could I crack it? Would I be comfortable cracking it, resubmitting it, and going after a 10? And this one I felt I could.
Really?
So I bought it.
That's
And I
fantastic.
got a good price on it. I actually negotiated on it. And the value actually went up since I bought it 2 weeks ago, believe it or not.
That's insane.
So,
I think I have the shack of that. It might be a different year, but I have a shack.
and
Nuts
if
and
you have
bolts.
no, Kobe was the 96. Kobe was the 96, but the
Ah,
96 of Kobe is the, if you're going after the Kobe. And then some lesser ones I got. I found this one at the same card show. I found the Jordan. So I own this. I bought these, a couple of these raw, and I was trying to decide whether to grade them, but I never knew like what to look at as a reference for a grade. So I saw this for $20 and I bought it. Michael Jordan 96, so 97 upper deck sticker.
yeah.
And I bought it in a PSA 7. It was $20. I was just like, I'll take it. So this one has a gem rate of, it's pretty low, 13%, just shy of 14. A 10 will get you, there's only 95 of them. It goes for almost 1,400. A 9 goes for 83. A 7 only goes for 29, so I paid $20 for it. But I was just like, I wanted to see kind of why this got a 7
Mm-hmm.
was part of it. I also just wanted to have some stuff that I could put in a case for at a lower price.
Yeah, so someone can actually afford a Michael Jordan.
Yeah, and maybe get it. Plus, it's a really cool looking sticker.
I was
That's why I brought the raw version in the first place. So when I saw it at a 7 and $20, I was like, eh.
That's funny. I
I was
was
like
looking
20,
at
20 that you can't even grade it now. I mean, it would cost you $80 to try to grade one of these now. So I was like, I'll buy
that's
it.
true. I was looking at Michael Jordan stickers this past week as well. I think it was actually the Toon Squad stickers from 1996.
Oh yeah, I was talking to you. We were both looking at the Space Jam
Right.
1996 stuff, which looks pretty cool.
It looks pretty cool. And a lot of them are stickers. And I'm kind of wondering, I haven't really bought a sticker before, and I don't know how they differentiate? Like, I don't know. Like, if they're not as popular, obviously, as actual cards and stuff. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of trying to figure out how these grade, but I do have an Aaron Judge sticker. I might have sold that at the show we were at. I can't remember, but I wanted to grade it, but I wasn't sure how it would grade.
Yeah,
It was something that I wasn't quite sure because you can see edges and stuff on the kind of on the end there. You can see edges at the
sure.
top of the paper for the sticker. So I was kind of just trying to do a little research there. And then I got this. I took Nana to the antique store. She wanted to go, so I had to pick up some stuff, obviously, because I can't just go there and not buy anything. So I bought some packs of. This is the same place I always get kind of those older packs from the '90s. So I did buy some stuff there. You and I will open those at some point. And then I got this, and I'm still trying to figure out what's wrong with it. It was graded a 7, but it's a Jordan 98 SP Authentic. It has it's not a super valuable card unless you have a 10.
Jordan 98.
I'll show the screen here.
Who made SP? Who's SP?
Upper Deck.
Okay.
So a 10, so it's only got a 15% gem rate. A 10 is 603, and a 9 is 50, but still a low pop.
Huh.
I feel like this could at least, I feel like this should at least be an 8, and I would actually push it up to, I actually think this is for sure a 9, which is really weird. So I don't know what's going on with this. But again, it's the same pattern I'm seeing with the Jordan, where with the Electrified, I saw the same gap between the 9 and the 10. And then that gap just closed, where the 10 went way up, but then the 9 and the 8 also went way up.
Okay.
So I just feel like these are getting, especially where you have these low graded populations.
Are we seeing
think
that with modern cards as well? Like, I mean, within the past few
because
years?
no. I mean, you can find modern cards that, but mostly they get great. Well, now everything's going to go down for grading, but I mean, like Wembenyama he was the highest graded of all time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he has, like, his Prism, I think, is in the 30,000s for his regular Prism, not his silver. But I mean, let's just like do Wembenyama 2023 silver. You know, what's the pop on this thing?
Jeez.
I gotta find a gem rate here. Okay, so his pop is, it's got a 60% gem rate and almost 6,000.
Wow.
Now, if you go to his non-silver, and all of this information is from Card Ladder.
Not a sponsor.
No, they're certainly not. But if you look at this one, let's find. So this would be his non, just his base.
There we go.
Come on. Yeah, they're not giving me though. So for some reason they don't have information on the grade of that one. You got to find when they've
put in their thing. You can type in base as well.
You can, but I should. There we go. Oh no, that's a purple wave. I want to get a base, just a regular base. Oh, that's a select. Okay, I will type in base.
They didn't make enough bases, I guess.
But I think this number is just going to be crazy. That's not Prism though. Yeah. That's not Prism. Hang on, stand by. We'll get there. That's it, right there. 27,000.
Wow.
I mean, so, and 16,000 PSA 9s.
27,000. He's talking about the population, not the price.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
price
The
for a PSA
population
10
is
is $340.
right. So, I mean, I'm looking at the pop count of some of these, and how they're, you know, I mean,
How they're
if you
correlated.
try to grade these, now, 30 years later, what you would expect to get? You know, how many, in the case of this, this Jordan medal, how many? It's already got you're below 1,000.
That's
You
in,
know what? How many of these are going to get 9s and 10s now?
what this reminds me. So I was looking up this junk wax stuff, and I came across.
It reminds you of 50s the new 30. That's what I like to say. Being in my 50s. 50s the new 30.
50's the new 30. 40's the new 20. It reminds me. So I was looking up the junk wax stuff, and people are saying this is the junk slab era, right now, just because everybody is grading everything. And with my experience of grading like the ultra modern stuff, like my Caleb Williams rookie debut or something, it got a 10, and I looked at it, and it's like off centered, and it's like they still just gave it a 10, just because I feel like there's no Caleb Williams isn't like the star like Michael Jordan or Shaquille O'Neal or Tom Brady for the same sport, So they're not as careful grading these things as the older stuff, I suppose. Just because they have those price differences.
Now they are. So now the complaint is that they're grading too hard, and
for everything.
that's where I disagree. Remember, I told you after I got my grades back, I was like, I feel like from what was my last, and I told you it was only my third submission to PSA, but I thought it was fine, man. I mean, in my opinion, it should be absolutely pretty dang close to perfect to get a 10. I mean, otherwise you are going to get this kind of junk slab,
Yeah.
right? And I think you do have to look, but you do have to look carefully to see what's the. I mean, I do also agree that the difference between a 9 and a 10 is pretty. It's pretty subtle.
Well, it can be it can be so many different. Sorry, there's rain pouring outside. If you can hear that,
I cannot.
It can be so many different things, like a little nick here or a scratch there or something. Like it's not always consistent. Like it's not always going to be like a 9 is going to have a bad corner and then a 10 is going to be perfect corners. It could be like a bad scuff or something, or like it's not always going to be the same thing, which is hard. But it is good that a 10 should be perfect, and we could always count on that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, for the most, yeah. I mean, I think these harder grades, these tougher grades, as they're calling it, I feel like do mean if you're looking at a new slab with a 10, it's probably pretty darn good.
Yeah.
It also means, though, you could still look at a 9 and it could not be quite, it could still be a 10. So look at the card. You can still find value out there by looking at a 9. Now, I think there's a point where if something gets, I would say you could look at an 8 and maybe, like I have that 8 Otani that I want to look at, that I told you about, the mini card, that I'm not quite sure because I thought I looked at it. Where I think it's better. I think when a score gets to a 7, it's probably right. And normally when you start looking at these eights and these nines, you can find stuff that's wrong with them, and you can start identifying what people are looking at for the grades. And I think it is becoming mint in this kind of ultra modern generation is becoming. I mean, people really are, when they're grading it, they're really saying, okay, this thing's got to be dang near perfect.
Yeah.
I know no card can be 100% perfect, but it's got to be dang near it. And anything that's off, people complain when they took the centering from 60/40 to when PSA changed their standards from 60/40 to 55/45. I mean, come on, why are you?
Yeah, they should.
People get upset if you defend, but 60/40 is a crap centering. I mean, I'm
that's
sorry.
What I was talking about. Like, with this new strict stuff, there's less variation. Like when you get a 9, it could be crap centering. It could be like
so that's what I'm saying. When you look at these older cards, you got to look at them. But some people will just look at the grade.
So why? So to wrap everything up, kind of in a neat bow, like so, you're correlating the population count. So what you've been finding on Car Ladder is that the 10s for these Michael Jordans and Shaqs.
I think Michael Jordan, Shaq. If you want to find stuff to, there's a lot of Jordan, Kobe, Shaq. I mean, well, you probably watch these guys play. You're still no, you wouldn't have watched Jordan so much, but you watch Shaq and Kobe play, right? These guys are. Right, these are the greats. They're highly collectible. Yeah. People really want them, and they made such cool cards of these guys, and there's so many of them. Yeah. Back in the '90s, and people didn't grade as much back then, right?
Yeah, I mean, grading.
So finding these things I think when people look, if people are just coming into the hobby now, they're going to say, "Well, I need a 10 or nothing."
Yeah.
But eventually, people are going to realize that, first of all, if you find any of these cards now in raw form, it's highly unlikely that they're going to get it. It's more likely. I shouldn't say highly unlikely. Let's put it this way: it's more likely they're not going to get a 10 than they're going to get a 10, and it's probably more likely that they're not going to get a 10 or a 9, and in some cases even an 8. So when you're looking at these cards, there's people ignoring the 7, 8s, the 9s in these cards that look really good.
Yeah. The 9s and 10s.
If you look at them, you can even look at. I've been looking. I'll show you after this. I don't want to get onto my Fanatics Collect account right now, but I'll show you a Jordan I bought die cut at an 8. And I looked at it, and it looks freaking fantastic for an 8. It might not be a 10. It might only be a 9. But you know what? It's also from the late 90s, and that card, raw now, most of them are not going to even grade a 7. So if you're going to find the best of those cards and grab them at a good price, you're going to have to do it now.
That's very true.
Because eventually people are going to catch on that those cards are really hard to get in even a 9, and they're going to start bidding up the price of those because they want nice. People want nice. At the end of the day, people want nice cards.
Yeah. Does this always go in waves? Like 90s cards were 30 years ago. People in the 80s were buying cards from the 50s, like, is this, like, are people in 30 years going to be looking back at these cards and saying the same thing, or is this particular era?
Hard to say. So what happened, so you were talking about the junk wax and how, and maybe we don't have time in this episode, sorry, I took it all up.
No, that's great.
But you were talking about how you made a comment today, like, you were like, damn, it was easy back in the 70s and 80s. One of the things I like about it is you only had one card, right? The problem with only having one card and no serial numbering or anything like that, or limited prints, is that you could run the printing press, right? It's like the U.S. government with printing money. Oh, geez, did I just get into politics?
Uh-oh. I don't think that's political. I think it's just a fact.
You could just print. So you could print as many copies of the card. And what happened was around so I grew up in the junk wax era, right? But what happened then was by 93, 94 was when Topps came out with the refractor, I believe, their first refractor, which was a limited run, but it wasn't numbered. But then they started coming out with numbering from about 95 on, and the reason people stopped buying cards because it was just like they were just printing it, so they weren't worth anything. So the companies had to make some sort of a way to limit their print runs, and they did that through serial numbering. Well, as you can imagine, people who were burned in the late 80s and early 90s they stopped collecting, right? So during that period from like 2000 or 1995 to 2000, I don't know, 5, maybe further. I don't know when it would exactly be, maybe even 6, 7, 8. But certainly until LeBron's rookie year in 2003, that might have kind of reinvigorated people's interest in cards again with LeBron, Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade rookie year. But between that period of time, there wasn't as much collecting going on.
Yeah.
There wasn't as much grading going on, therefore. And so cards in that era are slowly becoming more and more desirable. People are slowly starting to almost rediscover those cards, if you will, and find out, wow, these were really cool. They made really cool inserts. I mean, like every time you go out, you find about these new inserts, right? I mean, they made these really cool die cuts, and they're super, and they're hard to find now. And even buying them in the raw buying some of these raw might cost you, not that much in terms of maybe what you expect to pay for some modern stuff now, but if you can find them in good condition, you'd pay. But you're looking at, anywhere $50 to $100 for some of these things raw. But grading them, you're just going to have a tough time. Because first of all, I think they get put under a microscope. I think they get graded a little bit. I don't want to say they get graded tougher. Probably they get a little extra scrutiny from the graders. Because they're not seeing these things as often now, right? They're seeing the Wembanyamas popping up, so maybe they go over those a little more quickly, right? But then they see all of a sudden somebody sends in a raw of this, and they're like, oh, I haven't seen that one at all. I haven't seen that one ever, right? I'm going to look at it a little bit closer.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, there's a little nick there, right?
Yeah.
Whereas maybe you can slide by with something that maybe the grader sees a little bit more often.
Well, that's...
This is all
I think you're very...
I might get lambasted. I
don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know if that's even I don't even know if that's even a thing. But I really... this has opened my mind. This has opened my mind quite a bit.
Since I'm also going to search lambasted.
Good.
Because I'm sure lambast means... criticize, reprimand, or scold someone something.
Are you going to
severely.
Get lambasted? No.
Usually in a harsh and public manner. Well, someone would have to listen to this podcast for me to get lambasted. So
yeah, Mr. King.
So if I do get lambasted, I'll be quite happy.
Good. Since we're kind of coming up to an hour and we're going to start wrapping up here, do you think we're going to have another podcast before the National, or are we just going to put one out after? Putting you on the spot
during,
here.
Or during?
We could do during.
So we are going to try to attend the, for people who are listening at the National, we're going to attend the Book to Last. We're going to try to attend the Book to Last gathering of wrestling card collectors.
Yes. So if you are in the area, look out
Join
for
that.
look out for us. I mean, Tarek is going to be teaching me quite a bit about wrestling cards, and I'll probably just be kind of looking around and
You probably already know more than you think. I have a feeling.
rubbing elbows.
Just from talking to me.
That's true. A lot is.
I know a lot about disc golf now from talking to you.
Well, yeah, you got into it, but yeah. So there'll be an episode near the national, either before or during
Or after, yeah.
right after that. We'll discuss like what our strategies and what we have done and everything like that. But I think this was a good.
Probably not before.
Okay.
I would say we're going to do it after.
Okay, that sounds good.
And then look for the Circle One podcast.
Look for the Circle One podcast, part of your Collecting Stories family of podcasts.
Wow.
Did I just say that?
Zaid. I like it, Zaid.
Am I just saying things now? Oh
And it rolled off your tongue.
It did. It did. I've been. Yeah. All right. Well, what do you think?
All right.
I
think we call episode 33 done.
Done. All right.
Done.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.